All right. So let's go to the last part of lesson 5, and it talks about this discussion, and it kind of goes through all these pages and stuff. So before we do all that, what I'd like you to do is let's have this in our notes, right? Let's think about it. What about sine of theta, cosine theta on the x-axis or on the y-axis? So what do I mean by that? Remember, if this is the unit circle, right? This is the circle that we've been talking about. We have x squared plus y squared equals 1. What do we know? We know that the center is 0, 0, and the radius is 1. So if we know the center of the circle is 0, 0, right? Then what is this position over here? What is at this point? What is the point over here? What is the point over here? The point over here? The point over here? It should be, this should be 1, 0, right? Remember, it's always an x and a y. This is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. The x position 1 away, 1 from here. This is 1, 0. What's the other one? This is 0, 1. This is negative 1, 0. And this is 0, negative 1. Okay. If I did that very fast, just pause the video and think about why these are the coordinates. But we should know this by now. All right. So here, if I ask what's cosine of 0 degrees and sine of 0 degrees, I don't know why my sine looks like a 5, but let me fix that. This should look like an S, right? Okay. Remember, where are the angles? If this is 0 degrees, right? And this is 90 degrees, and this is 180 degrees, and this is 270 degrees, right? If I say what is cosine of theta, cosine of 0 degrees, what would that be? Well, we have to think about cosine. Like if I say what's the cosine of this, can we make a triangle? Can we create a triangle? Not really, because it won't happen. So here, what we need to think about is sine of theta, right? Sine of theta and cosine of theta, right? Cosine theta. This has to be the height function. This is height, which is up and down, and this is coheight, which is left and right. But remember when we did the paper plate, the height was with respect to the x-axis, and this was with respect to the y-axis. So let's think about it here. If I say, think cosine, right? Think left and right of this cosine of 0 degrees. What is the distance? What is the coheight of 0 degrees? What is the distance from here to here? Because here with respect to the y-axis, this point to here, and that coheight is just 1. The distance from here to the y-axis is 1. What about the sine of 0 degrees? Well, the sine of 0 degrees is that height function. So now think up and down, right? Think up and down. If I say what is the distance from this point to this x-axis, what is the distance from here to the x-axis? It's 0. There is no distance, right? I can't make a distance, all right? Let's think about the next one. What will be the cosine of 90 degrees? What I want you to do is, for cosine of 90 degrees, let me zoom out a little bit. Cosine of 90 degrees, well, let's look here. Cosine is coheight, and coheight is left and right with respect to the y-axis. What's the distance from this point to the y-axis? Can I go left and right? No. The cosine of 90 degrees, or the coheight of 90 degrees, is 0. What will the sine of 90 degrees be? Remember, sine is height function, so think up and down. What's the distance from this point to the x-axis? This is 1. Okay. What about cosine of 180, sine 180? Cosine of 180, what is the distance from here to the y-axis? Remember, cosine is coheight, left and right. What is the distance left and right from here to here? It's not 1, but it will be negative 1. What's the sine of 180, can I go up and down from this point? No, it's 0. What about this one? Try and pause the video for a quick second. What do you think it will be? Cosine will be 0 and sine will be -1. And notice that if you're a point on this circle, right, your position, like if I say this point over here, right, whatever that is, this point will be some cosine theta sine theta. That means, if you want to see something that will freak you out for a quick second, look, if this is my cosine theta, if I'm a point here, this is 1, 0, look, 1, 0, 90 degrees, 0, 1. Remember, cosine will represent x values and sine will represent y values. Okay, look, 180 degrees, right? What's my xy? My x is my cosine and this is my sine. And look, cosine -1, sine 0. Cosine 0, cosine of 270 is 0, and it's the same position from here on the coordinate plane. It's 0, -1. So if I think xy as a point, you have to think xy as cosine theta, sine theta. Okay? This is a point. A cosine theta is an x, a sine theta is a y. And what I'd like you to do is, now that you feel a little better with this, try and go through this discussion. It talks about case 1, it talks about case 2, what happens here. And what I'd like you to do is X out these questions. You could X out this one. You could X out this one. It says state the generalization. Don't worry about that. You could X those questions out. What about this one here? Case 3, they're very short. State a generalization, don't worry about it. And state a generalization, don't worry about it. Okay, this will wrap up the lesson. I hope this helps.